morning and welcome back to GP Outdoors. No snow yet. We got about an inch. I've been watching the news all week and I've seen that some parts of the US got hammered with a lot of snow, but I'm still waiting up here. But boy, it's cold. It's about -18 Celsius today. Sun's out. The reason for the video today is pretty simple. I used to have an open station tractor, wore hearing protection. Took me a while and it took a lot of you folks a lot of persistence over a period of time to get me to finally realize I needed to. But when I purchased the cab tractor, one of the big things I was thankful for is I thought, hey, I'll never have to wear hearing protection in that cab. It'll be nice and quiet. Apparently not so. And so once again, over the last number of videos with this LX2610, the item or the topic of whether or not I need to wear hearing protection in that cab has come up again. So I thought maybe today we could look into what's available and what might work for me. So let's spend a minute and go over some of the common ear protection and the not so common ear protection that might be available to you, or at least is available to me here. The first, kind of in the most basic, is your classic foam earplugs. You can get them kind of anywhere. I got this one at the drugstore. Got this one at a big box, a Home Depot or a Lowe's. It's a foam plug. Many of you are probably familiar. You grab them, you roll them in your fingers, stick it into your ear canal. The foam will expand to fill your canal. And basically, like the rest of this type of passive noise suppression, for lack of better words, you have some kind of a material goes over or in your ear, and it basically takes any ambient noise or any noise around you and drops it by whatever its rated decibel rating is. So in this case, 32 decibels. If the ambient noise, which means the noise that's around in your environment, whether it's birds chirping, cars driving by, boats driving, whatever ambient noise, your chainsaw, it'll take that ambient noise and reduce the loudness of that noise before it gets to your eardrum. That's basically how they work. Pros and cons. Pros, pretty simple, pretty easy. No big heavy, piece of equipment over the top of your head or big puffy earmuffs on there. Easy to administer, easy to carry. You put them in your pocket. Pretty much every one of them will come with a tiny little plastic carrying case so you can stick them in. The cons, not very hygienic, because remember, usually you're in an area where you're getting dirty or it's dusty, tractor, chainsaw, etc. in the forest. You're rolling them in your fingers, sticking them in your eardrum. They have to be replaced. You can only use them so many times, or it'll tell you how many times before you should use a new set. And of course, although you think they're cheap, because usually you can get these for about $5 or $7, but the problem is you have to keep buying them. So it's an ongoing expense, and you have to have them on hand. You can get some that you have a string attached. Those are usually more expensive. Or you can actually buy strings with like a little end on it that you kind of screw into the plug so you can use multiple plugs. But either way, I don't know if you've ever had an ear infection, but if you haven't, you don't want one. It's not pleasant. So definitely not, from my perspective, something I'd want to use. And of course, similar to other passive types we're going to look at, you can't hear people talk to you very well. So generally, if you're out in the forest with your pals and somebody starts talking, you have to get in there, pull it out of your ear so you can have a conversation. So not my first choice, but it's an alternative and a very easily accessible one. Second type of common, very common, is your standard earmuffs, like these guys here, or you find on the side of your forestry helmet. And these are similarly, they'll meet an ANSI or a CSA standard. I think these ones reduce, they have an NRR, is what they call it. It's a noise reduction rating. It's a standard term. And you'll see right on the packaging of whatever you buy, it has an NRR of so many decibels. These guys here were 23, got them at Princess Auto. They're about $25. And similarly, it reduces the ambient noise. That means all noise. Anything that's in the environment, it will reduce by 23 decibels before it gets to your eardrum. These ones here, these were 33. And actually, they've even written the ANSI standard that they comply with right on the side of the muff. Pros and cons of these. Pros, pretty easily accessible. They're reasonably cheap. You buy them once, you can use them for a long time. They're very sturdy and they're kind of worthy of being out in the environment. You can chuck them around without breaking them. You don't have to worry about them. They're not delicate. Some of the cons, goes over the top of your head and once again suppresses all of the noise, so you can't really have a conversation with these on. But they're easy to slide off your head and have a conversation, then put back on. This set here, very interesting pair and not very common. You can get them anywhere, but you don't see them too often. This is made by 3M. It's their Pelter brand, and it's called the Tactical Sport model. These are noise canceling headphones. So the NRR on these are 20 or 20 decibels. You can put them on, and if you put them on and don't turn on the switch, basically it suppresses all the ambient noise. The difference and what makes these a little bit unique is that when you do turn them on, they're noise canceling. They're designed so that when you push the button and you turn them on, unlike your passive types, it actually allows all the ambient noise in. For example, if you're having a conversation or somebody's talking, or you've got the radio on in the background, all of that noise comes through. However, it has a noise canceling feature for very loud, abrupt, or impactful sounds. They're actually my neighbor's. He uses them when he goes to the range to shoot his firearms. And most of his buddies have the same pair. They will reduce and minimize very loud, shocking sounds. But at the same time, you don't have to take them off because you can hear each other and you can hear the ambient sounds, the birds chirping, all of those things going on around you. So it's almost like they work a little bit in reverse to these. Actually allows you to hear what's going on, but blocks out really loud noise. Pretty cool.
On Christmas Day, Muffs.
Last but not least, I picked up a pair of these Soundcore Life Q30s to test out. These are noise canceling, and it's active noise canceling, similar to the Peltors, but it also has a setting that allows for transparency or to allow ambient noise come through, such as discussions, the radio, any of the noises around. You can set it to noise canceling, which will block everything out, or you can put it to normal, which gives you some rated noise reduction, but they haven't yet confirmed to me what it is. Big difference, Bluetooth. So there is a microphone for taking phone calls, as well as you know, I have a radio in the cab, which is also Bluetooth. These are a little delicate. This is probably not something I'm going to be throwing around on the forest floor or throwing into the tractor when I take them off, because I don't think they're built that rugged. Also, not cheap. These were about $105 Canadian, a little less than the Peltors. Well, quite a bit less than the Peltors, but still, I think your industry leaders are Sony and Bose, and those, of course, can run you anywhere from $300 to $500. But they are Bluetooth. They will allow me the access to be able to use my radio, also take phone calls, and apparently they also have noise canceling effect on the microphone through a phone call. So if you are in an environment where it's blocking noise and somebody calls, the person on the other end shouldn't hear the sound of the tractor or anything that I'm sitting in. sets your transparency mode, or it allows your ambience in. And now for the noise canceling.
Noise canceling.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Try it with the radio.
Holiday season will be somewhat different from the past.
Okay, well, that came out a little differently than I expected. Hands down, these are your standard, inexpensive ear protection. It'll get you usually 20 to 30 dB. Well constructed, pretty strong, able to throw around in the forest or in the back of the tractor without worrying about breaking them. No noise canceling though. No Bluetooth, nothing fancy. These 3M pelters, I thought they were actually going to win the day. I was kind of actually hoping they would. Well constructed similarly, very strong, something I could throw around in the forest or in the tractor. Allows ambient noise to come in, allows you to have conversations about taking them off. However, didn't do a really great job of reducing sound. I think their NRR was 20, which sounded about right if you heard it in the video. However, like they're designed to mute or to cancel really loud, sharp noises, like gunshots, which is why they all use them. Didn't do that great a job in the tractor or with the equipment. Probably not much better than these did. This delicate set of earphones, they were the best in my opinion. They did great everywhere. Although I didn't have a really high, costly, perfectly calibrated decibel meter to use today, I just used an app on my phone which I know to be reasonably accurate. It seems pretty clear to me that I'm going to have to keep wearing ear protection in that cab. I have an interim solution, has all the features I need to it, but I need something with those features that's built really strong and rugged for these outdoors. So I think at the end of the day, I'd like all of the features of these built in a strong, sturdy construction like this. So I'll keep looking. In the meantime, I do have something to wear in the tractor, and they did come with a nice, strong protective carrying case. Well, I hope the video was informative or helpful to some of you today. At least you have an idea of some of the options available and the price points. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting videos, just click that little bell. Have a wonderful and safe week with your families. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you again on the next one. Cheers. You can literally find hundreds if not thousands of articles and papers written by credible organizations, government health organizations, hospitals, doctors, unions, different types of construction associations or outdoors associations, all talking about the need to protect your hearing. You'll find that they're all very consistent as it pertains to slow hearing loss, and that one of the top contributors to that, especially as we age, is continued or long exposures to background noise. Loud background noise. And another related statistic that's generally consistent across pretty much anything you read is they generally say that that long exposure or that extended continual exposure over 85 decibels for more than an hour and a half to 2 hours at a time contributes to permanent hearing loss. You can look it up. I found tons of articles. They all generally say the same.